Radiant team ban.
Well, looks like we will finally get the pick and ban phase underway here. I really like watching Infused play because a lot of times people, or teams I should say, have like one particular style they like to really run and they're efficient at, but it seems like Infuse is very flexible. I mean, we saw him in the first game in round one take up that Anti-Mage and just kind of run a very aggressive four-man team and allow Wagamama to get the farm that he needed to take out pot and bottom. And then the next game, they ran pretty much just an all-out, we're going to get all your buildings and map control as soon as possible and just win that way. So it feels like no matter what situation that they're forced into, they're pretty comfortable with it. And that's really something that defines like a really high-skill team.
Dire team ban.
Not really surprised by that. I mean, that hero is just so hard to play against. In every sense, that hero is good. He's never really bad at any point in the game. I mean, early game, he still has Ion Shell, does a ridiculous amount of sustained damage if you can stay in range of it. Surge helps you escape from ganks, helps you gank as well if you have somebody coming to the long lane to help him out, which is typically where he lanes. And the wall is great for pushing, it's great for defending the base, or really defending anything. And the later the game goes, if there's like a semi-carry or a hard carry on the opposition, that's almost to your benefit. I mean, it's just really, really tough to play against, and Leshrac is kind of the same thing. To a lesser extent with his ultimate, he's just a really high damage dealer and flexible hero overall.
Dire team ban.
The Beastmaster ban, I know that Infuse runs quite a bit. I know that EGM plays Beastmaster. He actually played it today, previously in one of the round 2 games, but I'm not really sure. Whenever I see a ban like that, it's almost like what you would call a respect ban. It's like, we know that you guys can run this hero very well, so we're just not going to let you get it. But I feel like there are much better heroes in that role, and Broodmother also going to be the last out. So we have Chen still in the pool, Enchantress is banned out, so that's pretty typical, only taking one of the 2 junglers. And you have Furion as well as Invoker as those super high-tier pick heroes. So we're going to have to see what Enro decides to take here, because whatever they take, Infuse is getting 2 of the leftover.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Well, it really depends on what you're going for, because if you're in Enro's shoes right now, you either want to take something like a Furion or an Invoker, or you want to take like a lower tier hero, because that still leaves you the option of taking a second one later on, and it also gives you a much better idea of what Infuse is going to be going for, because they have to kind of show their hand first. If you pick a hero like Invoker, you know he's going to be mid, and they are in fact going to go with a Nature's Prophet first pick, so that means immediate Chen Invoker from Infuse. So again, I mean, this is just showing a little bit what they're going to be doing. The Chen's going to be in the jungle for sure, probably defensively. Not many people run the offensive tri-lanes anymore, and you're going to have Invoker mid.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I really think that Infuse loves Necrobook. That's like their favorite item, I think, now. Every single game I see them playing today, they get them, even on heroes that it might not be super typical on. I mean, on Chen it makes sense. On heroes like Queen of Pain, it's less common. We've seen that today as well. But I think that item is going to start seeing more and more use, because it really is super powerful for the cost. I mean, every single time, if you get it to level 3, that's a free counter ward, basically, that you don't have to worry about losing, like a gem. Like, you'll lose it when you die. You don't have to spend any more money after that to do any counter warding, especially on some heroes who have, like, mobility or have extra abilities who give you vision, like Beastmaster could with the Necronomicon 3. I mean, there's just so many different heroes you can do it on, and it's always effective.
Night Stalker.
Dire team pick.
Typically, whenever I see a Night Stalker, it's against lineups. Like, Infuse is already kind of forming here, and they're going to go ahead and take Crystal Maiden anyway after seeing the Night Stalker pick. So that's another hero who's very susceptible to those ganks. I just feel like when you pick a Night Stalker, your team is so heavily based on him that if he does bad, your team's automatically in a horrible spot. That's like the one thing about that hero, is like he almost becomes a liability. If your first and second Knight aren't great, then that's okay. But if they're bad,
Radiant's
then your
team
team is just
ban.
in such a poor spot that you really can't do anything. So we'll have to see how Infused decides to round out their lineup after seeing that. And Anti-Mage is going to be banned out anyway by Enro. Lone Druid taken out by Infused. Well, it was a possibility because if they sent the Enigma
Dire
in the
team
jungle
ban.
and they let the Lone Druid either safe lane or long lane, and Firan would be in whatever lane that the Lone Druid wasn't in, they could still send the Night Stalker middle as well. I mean, it's not saying that that's super common, but I think it was a possibility. And Lone Druid is still really tough to deal with because he can stop pushes pretty much by himself by just sending his bear out, and he can just go ahead and kill Chen minions and stuff like that. So it is pretty annoying. We'll have to see, though. Brewmaster also going to be the last ban out from Enro, along with Venomancer. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Enro's going to round out their team. That's really what I want to know, because right now they have a decent amount of aggression with the Night Stalker and the Furion. Like, Enigma fits in pretty much any lineup, basically, as long as you don't already have a jungler. In some cases, you can even see him solo a long lane. It's viable,
5
but it's not
seconds
really as
remaining.
common, I would say. And I just don't know what route they're going to go. And the nice thing,
Reserve time.
I was going to say, the nice
Windrunner
thing
at
that they
your
kind of have
service.
going for them is, okay, they're going to take a Windrunner. So that's
Team
at the very least a long laner, which would mean that we could see an Enigma bottom and just a Furion in the jungle again for the second time today.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that Windrunner would it would be Windrunner Sand King, and I just noticed I had my mic muted the entire time for XSplit.
Okay. I didn't notice you had your mic, because I could hear you
10
fine.
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Oh boy. It's okay. We live and we learn,
5
right?
seconds
Yep.
remaining.
But yeah, back to what I was saying earlier.
Reserve time.
I like the Night Stalker pickup. Windrunner, I was thinking they were going to go Windrunner Sand King in a way, but I'm not too sure.
Well, Sand King is definitely viable in this situation. The only thing is, I'm not sure where they would lane him, because they already have a Night Stalker. They're probably going to want to send him mid, unless they're looking at running a tri-lane with the Night Stalker and having the Furion mid and the Enigma top. I mean, that's still pretty reasonable, I would say. But again, it's really up to what Enro's comfortable with. I mean, they could just pick something more along the lines of another pure support like a VS or something and just try for really early game aggression using that first Night to just abuse the Night Stalker's full potential. I think that would probably be a safer bet, but we'll see what they're going to do here. And Infused is taking quite a bit of time for their next pick, man, eating into their bonus time quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually look and see what would round out really well with their team, and I don't know, maybe an Earthshaker, or I don't know. It's hard to tell with the three heroes that they have picked at the moment. They could use someone in the long lane. Brood's already been banned out. Windrunner's on another team. The Darkseer's been banned.
Tidehunter.
They're gonna go with Tidehunter.
Tidehunter's a really solid pick here. I like that for innumerable reasons, basically. It's like, against the Night Stalker, if he silences your Tide, that's the best possible situation, because if they silence him and go on him, then his Kraken Shield's going to just remove the silence anyway. If they silence him, that means Invoker, Chen, and CM are all free to use their abilities. Those heroes are so susceptible to death once silence is used on them, so that means that Tide can basically still kind of sit in the front and tank a bit. So I really like that pickup, and he's also great counter initiation, because Night Stalker's biggest strength is his ability to dive, and he's so tanky early on. Typically you see people go the Treads, Vanguard, Urn, something like that, and just really go aggressive as much as they can. But against the Tide, it's way harder. So I think that pickup
10
is really,
seconds
really
remaining.
intelligent from Infused, but I feel like their lineup still needs some kind of a semi-carry.
5
And also I
seconds
wanted to point
remaining.
out too that after seeing the Night Stalker pick, the Beastmaster ban makes a ton more sense, because that is one hero who, no matter what, can pretty much stop a Night Stalker from raining terror on the opposition. So that one makes a lot more sense now.
Yep,
10
I like the AA pickup as well for Enro Griffins, because we haven't seen AA a lot since the first international. He was picked up in almost every team, and Infused going to go with the Juggernaut that they've used the last 2 or 3 games for Join Dota. It seems like he's been coming out a lot more in the Masters and Pro Dota League, and his heal is it's so powerful. I believe it's 5% heal of total health, or what?
I think it's 4% a second at max rank, and then it pretty much heals everyone in your team to full. It's great in conjunction with heroes like Tide, Invoker, and Chen. I mean, they have great push potential. Tide can just sit on the opposite side of the creep wave, spamming Anchor Smash. You can spin on it, drop a healing ward, and just push forever.
Yep.
I mean, that hero has been seen used a lot with pushing lineups like this just because of that specific ability. Plus, his early game is still relatively strong, partnering with heroes like CM and Tide if they do end up laning them together, which I'm sure they will. It'll be like a CM Juggernaut lane. The Tide Hunter, I'm not really sure where he's going to go. Maybe just a dedicated long lane, have the Chen defensively jungling, and then the Invoker mid, but we'll see.
And here we go, into the game. Waiting on our last pickup from Enro Griffins at the moment. Let me get the scoreboard up. There we go. And a pause coming in from Enro. So like I was saying before my mic was muted, Enro Griffins, a European team, definitely a very strong team to not underestimate at all. Infused definitely had a very good showing so far in the tournament. We've casted 2 of their games already. Infused routes to the semifinals, taken out, let's see here, Pot Bottom in the first round, took them out 1-0. They took out Pigs Might Fly and Team Luxcus, and now they're here against Enro Griffins in the semifinals, best of 3. In the top half of the bracket, we have Gosu taking on Doting's Too Good right now, and they will face off tomorrow in the finals in the best of 3. So the winner of this faces on against Gosu Doting's Too Gooding tomorrow night. Draskell, will you be here?
I might be. Can't make any promises yet. I'll know tonight for sure.
All right, cool.
But I definitely have enjoyed casting so far with you, Matt. Thanks again for having me on.
Definitely, anytime, man. But if you guys want, you could follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/GUFireflash or twitter.com/Draskell for his, as well as check him out. It's Neo Dota on Twitch TV, correct?
That is indeed correct. I really love this Juggernaut pick, by the way. Like, it's so cool to see heroes like that being used. I mean, and you were right, by the way, it's 5%. It's 5% at max rank, not 4.
Okay.
But that just makes your pushing so much more powerful, because a lot of times you'll get like a gank off, you'll have your Chen down there, you'll get like 1 tower, and then be forced back because all your heroes are low HP. 1 healing word basically allows you to stay in that lane almost indefinitely until you're out of mana.
Yeah.
And with Tides always going mana boots, they have a CM for Aura as well. It's just going to be constant pressure and push, because in this situation, Infused picked that hero simply because he adds so much to the push and he's still viable late game. I mean, any hero with a built-in crit chance is a pretty decent late game carry. I mean, 35% chance to crit is pretty darn high. Omni Slash is a great ultimate, and a lot of team fights late game. It'll pretty much just take heroes out completely if you get out of position. And the kind of lineup that Enro is running right now, I mean, this Night Stalker is going to be hard-pressed to decide who he wants to silence. It's going to be really tough for him to make those calls.
4-man gank coming in at bottom right now. Looks like Crystal Maiden just straggling along a little bit back there. But a 4-man gank coming in on bottom. Wagamama going to be playing the Juggernaut. They're standing Hexor. We've seen him play a really good Sand King throughout the day. And just very, very good Death Prophet. Had almost 600 GPM in the other game. And EGM going to be playing the Invoker and Mini on the Chen. Or for Enro Griffins, Not a Hack, who's their stand-in playing on the Windrunner. Batari is going to be playing the Night Stalker. Crush is going to be on the Nature's Prophet, and Not a Hex is going to be on the Enigma.
I think this is really clever use of the trees here, especially considering the Juggernaut and the Tide both started with boots. If anybody had gotten caught by that, they would have been dead for sure. And I think the way that the lanes are shaping up, this is going to mean that Wagamama, no matter what, is probably going to get free farm, just because of the fact that he's going to have that Crystal Maiden supporting him, and that dual lane is insanely strong. I mean, you can't do anything against it just because of the fact that magic immunity, and we're talking 80 DPS still at level 1, like 80 damage per second, and magic immunity with those boots. He already runs at 360 move speed, so that's really scary to deal with.
Damage.
Crystal Maiden going to pick up the DD in mid, and looks like we'll be going to the respective lanes. Meanwhile, we're going to have Tide soloing bot against what looks like the Night Stalker bottom. So NS versus Tide, which was predicted. Very, very... oh, hang on. Okay, never mind. They're saying it was lagging, but I fixed it. Okay. So Wagamama and Fishbone going to be on the Crystal Maiden and the Juggernaut mid against Nature's Prophet, played by Crush. Top lane, we have the Not a Hacks playing the Windrunner against the Invoker. And like I said, bottom lane, Tide versus Night Stalker.
I don't know if I like this choice from Enro to go ahead and send the dual lane mid. I mean, when you pick a Furion, the most important thing for Furion is to get early levels just so you can have that presence on the map. Teleportation and Sprout are just absolutely needed. And Wagamama's not going to suffer nearly as much from getting a little less experience because he'll get the farm. I mean, it's not like a farm Furion is going to be crazy hard to deal with, whereas if this Juggernaut gets a good start, then it's going to be infinitely harder for Enro to really make anything happen on him, especially because he's in mid and he has magic immunity built in. I don't think that he'll ever die unless we see a black hole come out from not a hex.
Yep, I agree as well. Yeah, AA mid as well, like you were saying. Top, we saw EGM going to pick up the Blades of Attack first. He was using some Cold Snap onto the Windrunner, putting on some added pressure. Meanwhile, bottom lane, stand-in for Hexar. He's doing pretty well against Nightstalker already, level 3 for both players down there.
Well, against the Tide, there's not much other melees can do. I mean, like, heroes like Sand King and Tide, once they get their mana boots up, like for Tide, for instance, can just spam his Anchor Smash. Sand King has that Caustic Finale. They're kind of the same in that regard. And you're really just not going to harass him out of the lane. Even though his starting items are less than optimal, he only has boots, really, and one set of tangos. He's still pretty hard to deal with.
Looks like Hex is just going to be farming up the jungle right now, possibly going to get a gank on Tide in a little bit. Meanwhile, Chen in the jungle right now. He has the most creep kills in the game at the moment. And then top lane, Invoker still in that Quas build. Will he go Quas Wex is the question. Probably going to go the Exort build, I'm going to say, out of EGM, though.
Well, if there was any game that I would expect to see a Quas Wex, it would probably be this one. I mean, EMP is just so good to have against Nightstalker because you know he's always going to be playing aggressive. Tornado thwarts aggression very well. Sunstrike would be pretty much just as good if they had a lot more lockdown, but really they only have the Crystal Maiden and Ravage, so it's going to be much harder for him to land those, but he could still go Exort because he's in the off lane, and he's not really going to be susceptible to early game ganks, so we'll have to see. It's going to be pretty much his judgment call, but since he started with the Blades of Attack, I have a feeling he's going to be going Quas Wex.
Something to note there mid, Fishbone did get an imprisonment in on the Furion. There was a spin by Wagamama, brought Furion down to 20 HP before he was able to TP out in time.
Yep, definitely nice play. Those two gauntlets paying dividends, man. I'm telling you. That's some next level play coming out.
Chen, meanwhile, looking around, not doing too much, just farming up right now at the moment, getting a couple creeps, looking to get his second Centaur at the moment. Down in bottom lane, Tide already up to 11 creep kills, 1 denied. The Nightstalker 13 and 5 at the bottom lane.
Denied.
Yeah, I think in this case, like, not really anything's going to be happening until we see out of Hex move out of the jungle on the Enigma to either try to gank middle or bottom, and he pretty much has to gank bottom. That's the only lane he can feasibly kill, and that's even still pretty far-fetched considering the position that this lane's in. The Nightstalker is constantly pushing by throwing out extra auto attacks every once in a while, and because of that, Hexor can use his Anchor Smash to CS over him, whereas normally it would be really hard for him to do that because his base damage is so high.
Gotcha. Invoker looking like he is going to go Quas Exort build, taking 2 points into that Exort now in the top lane. Meanwhile, Windrunner just trying to farm what he can in the jungle, trying to steal it from the Invoker. Fishbone smoke ganking mid right now, or just a loot, sorry, it's an Invis rune. Trying to come in on mid here.
They could definitely pick off Fury on here if they get a decent freeze, but I don't think he has mana to combo. He still needs about, he just barely has enough right now if they wanted to go, but he's just going to pop out anyway.
Well, not too much going on right now. Bottom lane just still farming up. Middle just about to stand still, just trying to get as much farm as we can. Wagamama up to 12 creep kills, 7 denies at the moment. Furion 13 and 8.
This is pretty huge, though. I mean, Tide already has his mana boots, which means that now he can just Anchor Smash all day and never really have to worry about it. I mean, it only costs right now rank 3 50 mana. So I think that the longer this goes on, the more tanky this Tidehunter gets. It's going to be harder for Nightstalker to do his job in this game, basically, is what it's going to boil down to. And he already picked up his TP too, so he knows that anytime there's aggression that he has to be there. And he's also now harassing the Nightstalker. And even with a bottle, like, he's going to have to start bottle crowing if he wants to stay in this lane.
Yeah, they need to definitely get a gank down bottom with the Enigma on that Tidehunter if they can. But the thing with Tide, though, is like, it's just so much health over time. It's so hard to kill a Tidehunter.
Tide, you have to commit a lot too. I mean, the one thing that is nice right now, at least for Enro, is that he doesn't have any ranks into Kraken Shell, so he is killable. But normally that could just break off basically any debuff. It can stop the slow, it can stop the Malphus, things like that. So I think that this pick just is really, really strong from Infused. They've been drafting very well all day.
Yeah. Nighttime now for Nightstalker. We're going to see if he tries to go anywhere right now and pick up some ganks or anything, but probably just going to farm the bottom for right now as he has the solo lane down there. Fishbone just sitting by the DD at the moment. Wagamama probably going to come pick that up with his bottle. Yep, looks like he is.
I don't really think that the Nightstalker is going to be able to make anything happen at all during this first night. It's just a matter of the mid lane is basically ungankable. The only way he can do anything is if he buys a TP and goes top, but since he doesn't have any ranks into Crippling Fear yet, ganking the Invoker just would be an impossibility. And I guess I was wrong, by the way. He is going Exort. So typically when you see Blades of Attack, they don't go Exort, they just go Quas Wex, but I guess that EGM just wants to be able to Sunstrike, man. That just seems to be the thing of the day.
Yep, just Sunstrikes all over the place. Harassment back and forth bottom lane. We see a TP coming in here from the Windrunner bottom. Enigma
yeah, there's three
trying to
people
get a stun,
attempting to
but
gank here.
yeah, it's not. I don't know. I don't think.
I mean, he has a ward. He sees the Enigma for sure.
Furion TPing in now. And Tide will he be able to get Shackle coming in from the Windrunner there. And he will go down. First blood going to the Windrunner.
So you remember earlier today when I said at least once or twice a game you'll forget the other team has a Furion?
Yep.
That's pretty much exactly what happened to the Tide right there. He didn't have any Tangos eat himself out, didn't have a Quelling Blade either. And that's pretty much going to be a tower kill unless we see a reaction out of Infused, which it doesn't look like they want to defend.
Yeah, it looks like tower will fall down here. No TPs coming in. Radiant did get the tower kill, so no extra gold going to any specific hero. Smoke gank coming in now by INFS for this mid kill, trying to pick off the AA most likely.
If they catch him out, he's going to be very easy to take down. Only 700 HP. He does have boots though, so that's nice. There's going to have to be some epic coordination here to be able to catch him out. But with the Juggernaut, not even level 6 yet actually.
No. Mini and Fishbone coming in, misses the cold there.
Wow, and he's actually going to get away by the skin of his teeth. I'm kind of surprised that Wagamama just didn't go for that. I mean, he doesn't have a Stout Shield or anything, so the tower would have done quite a bit of damage. And man, Enro is just relentless on this bottom lane, man. They do not want to give up. They're just pushing into the base.
They got tier 2, now they're trying to get into the base. Meanwhile, INFS trying to cut them off on their retreat. Not a hack is trying to get out, but will he be able to? Chen's trying to come in, but nice wind walk there by him. So he was able to get out in time.
He even hesitated a bit there. Definitely good that that was Windrunner, not anyone else, because they would have been in a lot more trouble. But after getting those 2 towers for free, that's a lot of gold for Enro and some map control that I really don't think they wanted to lose, because after losing those towers, now this Nightstalker is free to go wherever he wants.
Yep.
It's not like you can just sit there and try to farm in a lane where you're super far past the river. Like, the Nightstalker is not going to do that. Now he's going to be active. You've basically activated Enro's trap card by letting those 2 towers die. That's what I mean.
Exactly. And that's the way it is. I mean, now they're going to try to push mid here. Fishbone and Wagamama are here to try to defend. They need some TP support in. They still do have a glyph up as well.
They definitely can defend this if they want to. We can see that Chen's making his way over right now. Still 2 from Infused sitting back here, Wagamama and Fishbone. But right now, they don't really seem like they want to.
AA ult coming in. Gonna hit the Crystal Maiden there. Black hole just on the Crystal Maiden, so that's a blunder. But they were able to pick that off. Wagamama trying to spin on the here. Will go down. And it looks like Enro coming in. Tide ult coming in as well. Will be able to pick the AA off. Juggernaut buying back, TPing mid, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think there is any question there that Infused has the better team fight. They just had to hesitate a little bit waiting on that Ravage, and now we're going to see the TP out from Crush. Looks like he's just going to barely get away from that, so a little bit of a turnaround, but a buyback had to be used there. Looks like Enigma's going to fall to EGM also with the help of that Chen Minotaur.
Yeah.
So overall, I'd say that Infused probably came out a little bit ahead, but not much, because after losing another tower, I mean, it's still the first night, only 10 minutes in. I just really don't... I don't know why they let those 2 towers die pretty much for nothing. I think it had something to do with the fact that the Tide just died after Ravaging, basically, when he was guaranteed dead anyway. That's probably why they just decided to not commit to that defense, but at the very least, they got a couple of return kills.
Juggernaut just going to be out of the range for the AA ultimate there. Windrunner needs to be careful not to get caught out of place here from Juggernaut.
Yeah, whenever you meet a Juggernaut in a back alley, it's not something that you're looking forward to, especially when he's level 6. Omni Slash does a very large amount of damage, especially to heroes like Windrunner who don't have the highest of base HP.
Probably going to see a quick pipe or mech come in from the Enigma. A lot of players would think, well, why doesn't he just rush the Blink Dagger? And we don't really see that in the competitive play too often anymore. It's more so Soul Ring into that pipe or mech, and it looks like he is going to go mech, but Invoker trying to get cut out of it. Wagamama coming in now with the spin. But
no, they should be able to pick off the Diran here, but looks like Juggernaut's going to pay with his low. Now Mini's going to be forced back. Nuke was just used, so they're not going to be able to get Not-a-Hex. Oh, they will actually. The Nova and the Creeps are going to be able to manage to pick that off. Tries to get sent back to base, but CM going to die anyway. Now Night Stalker is pursuing Mini, and a 3v1. I don't think he's going to be living through that void. Picks up the kill. Night Stalker getting some more farm that he definitely is going to need for this game.
Meanwhile, Tidehunter trying to take bottom tower. It is pretty low. He will back off though, as TP support is on the way in from Infused or from Enro Griffins.
And this is just a little bit of another blunder. I mean, what Infused really needs to do is make sure they fight around Ravage. They can't just take skirmishes, because against heroes like Night Stalker, Furion, and AA, that's 2 global ultimates, and plus a hero who basically can chase you to the ends of the earth. I mean, Night Stalker can't be stopped unless he's killed. And speaking of deaths, we do see EGM manage to Sunstrike Nature's Prophet. I'm not even really sure where he was.
What happened
but that
was,
had to have been a Sunstrike.
Bottom lane, the Tidehunter went in on him. He did his Gush, and then he ulted the Nature's Prophet, and followed it up with the Sunstrike.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense. But they're going to get the deny on the tower anyway, so Enro not losing too much. See Furion going to try to TP in here to catch Tide, but he will get out in just the nick of time. And top lane looks like Juggernaut's going to get another kill on AA.
And EGM was able to take out the Courier. In the meantime, they're using his Force Staff to get ahead and take it out as well.
Man, there's just so much stuff happening everywhere now. It's like in the beginning it was a little bit stale, and everybody's like, all right, let's just fight all over the map, so the casters have no idea what's going to happen next.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Making me work for my first Dodo event.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's right, man. You're doing good. In the meantime, Infused going to take this first tier tower top.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They will try to push tier 2. They have 2 Ursas and a Centaur, as well as both Forge Spirits from EGM there, and a Healing Ward that we talked about earlier. AA ult coming in, but that Healing Ward is going to be able to heal them up pretty well. And going to look to take down the second tier tower. Meanwhile, middle, Hexor getting caught out of place there. And they're going to try to take tier 2 tower in mid as well. So it's going to be a tower for tower trade. Tower does fall in the top lane, and now they're going to TP back, trying to get support in.
Well, Chen doesn't have a TP, so I'm assuming this tower mid is going to die too. The best I can hope for is denied. There is a TP coming in from Juggernaut, though. And now Furion's going to be able to TP out here pretty easily, using the Sprout to get away, and the spin's going to be wasted. Shackle does go off onto Wagamama. Blink in from Hexor, though. There's the Gush and the Anchor Smash with the nuke follow-up from Mini. Going to be more than enough to take out Not-a-Hex playing that Windrunner, so she thought she was a little bit safe, but not quite as much as she liked, and I guess Chen not having a TP paid off. He was able to come in from the back and secure a kill, and they didn't... Oh, they did lose their tower. Never mind. They did lose a tier 2 mid. Yeah,
Windrunner got the last hit on it. Meanwhile, they're trying to take tier 1 mid now. Just non-stop pushing from both teams we see. And this is all going back to them losing those 2 tier towers in bottom lane.
Yeah, and Furion's going to pretty much just die there to Gush and Omni Slash. Fishbone, a lot of triple 2. Still is the Aranon going to take one tower hit and drop. Now Not-a-Hex going down really fast with Juggernaut spin. Mini tanking some tower hits for his team. And now this first tier tower mid looks like it's going to go in the favor of Infused. But they're chasing Enigma right now, man. They really want Not-a-Hex. You got to get out of here, man. It is not safe. And the pause because Tidehunter disconnected. This is like the moment in your life where you're like, please don't do it. You know, please don't do it.
Not-a-Hex is like, man, why didn't I get my Blink Dagger?
Yeah, he's not feeling so safe right now. I mean, Invoker has Cold Snap, so Cold Snap and 1 auto attack is pretty much going to be guaranteed death. Wagamama doesn't have mana, though. We'll have to see what happens. No one else is really that close. Maybe he can get away from this. We'll have to see. He does have a TP, so if he waits for Cold Snap to wear off, mechs himself and TPs, he might be able to live through this.
Yeah, Cold Snap is up for the Invoker. He has 16 seconds still on the Force Staff there. I mean, the best case scenario I think is maybe a Malefice on the Invoker, but I don't know.
Well, he's had plenty of time to see that Wagamama doesn't have mana, so if he uses Malefice on the Juggernaut, it's just wasted.
Radiant's middle
And he does go
tower
ahead and
has
use that
fallen.
Malphus. Cold Snap comes out, but no auto attacks coming out as of yet. Yeah, he's just way too tanky. They're not even. He doesn't even have the TP.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So I think the pause actually helped him a little bit.
Well, I don't know if he necessarily would have gotten down there anyway, and you can see him converting those Forge Spirits. Now, EGM looks like he might be in some trouble here. TP coming in from Fury 4 stats to the low ground, right out of the Sprout. A Ravage hitting 2. That means Enigma's going to go down there with the help of Wagamama, and now we see Night Stalker running for his life. Can't really do anything. Fury also running away. No towers here, though, so they need to be careful. Mini's going to spot out Night Stalker, and the Forge Spirit is going to indeed spot out Furion as well. They need to get the heck out of here, man. They can't stick around.
Shackle coming in on Hexor now. AA coming in on top of it. Hexor needs to get away, but
Dire's
wow.
top tower is under attack.
Oh, looks like everyone's
Shen
going to get out of there.
just saved the hell out of
Dire's
Tidehunter.
top tower has fallen.
Yep, using that Holy Persuasion to send his teammate back to the base. Now Fishbone looks like he's in a bit of trouble. Another, wow, that was a long-range shackle onto Wagamama, and now Night Stalker taking a lot of damage. There's the spin. Going to be a kill for Waga. That is a dominating streak for him. Now Furion trying to run away as best he can. Throws out the Sprout. Sunstrike, though, right in the middle. Going to take him out before his TP channel goes off, and now Windrunner's like, I need to get out of here. It's not safe anymore.
Tidehunter coming with the blink, gushing on top of Windrunner, but Windrunner will be able to get out in time. And now it looks like they may go into do Roshan now.
I think they're going to feel pretty comfortable with Roche after that team fight. No Ravage, but at the very least they know that the Enigma, the Night Stalker, and the Furion are all going to be out of position. Well, the Enigma's a bit closer, but they can't really fight this without having the rest of their team. A Ultimate's going to be pretty annoying, though. But as soon as that wears off again, man, that healing ward, OP.
Yep.
He actually maxed it, by the way. He has 1 rank of Blade Dance. So he's not going for any damage. He just wants that heal.
They're all about the pushing right now.
I really love the drafting style of Infused, like watching them every single game, and they change it up so much too. That's why they're such a great team to watch and cast. Really happy that they made it this far.
Yep, they are the fan favorites to win this one right now. But we'll have to see if they can get through Gosu or I want to say, what is it? Gosu and Dota's Too Gooding. If they can win this match, then
I think that most people would probably be favoring Infused
yep.
to take this one, just because Enro is not as known of a team, which isn't fair in a lot of cases, because there are a lot of teams who are skilled out there who are just unknown.
Yeah.
But as time goes on and the game gets closer to release, I think you'll be seeing more team names start to pop up. Or at the very least, more organizations from like Warcraft 3 Dota start to pick up Dota 2 teams or make transitions, things like that.
Definitely. Like, Enro does have a lot of tournament wins and leagues they play in. They're just not known. Cold Snap, though, coming in on Nature's Prophet. He's going to melt away to that Chen. And it looks like the push is going to come on again.
They need to be careful too, man. Enro's missing Night Stalker. He does have a TP, but he's not going to be there yet. And Hexor has a blank Ravage, so if anybody gets a little bit out of position, they're going to pay with their life pretty much. AA building as tanky as he can. He actually went for Bracer, Vitality Booster, and Power Tread, so he really does not want to get bursted down.
Omni
right there, the
was
Omni
able to kill a
Slash.
couple, or damage a couple, but no getting any kills. AA Ultimate coming in as well. In comes the Night Stalker, trying to take out Wagamama. AA ult is going to miss. And they're going to come back in. Tidehunter come in for the Ravage. And we're going to see AA just go down again. Tower falls, EGM and Wagamama shackled together. Black Hole on top of Mini and EGM and Fishbone. 3 men, but Hex is going to melt down together with the help of Wagamama and Tidehunter there.
Yeah, that mech pretty much just reversed all the damage that it did. It was a great black hole by the Enigma. They just didn't have any backup. I mean, the AA was already dead, so he couldn't do anything. Obviously, the Night Stalker only has 1 single target spell. The power shot was right on point. Just not enough follow-up damage, so looks like Infuse is going to go ahead and take game 1.
GG go
because the
next.
GGs are coming out from Enro.